and welcome back. My name is V, and today I'd like to talk about Metaphor Refantazio and why I'm so excited for the game. This game is set to release in about 2 weeks or so, and it's actually quite incredible to me because I've been waiting for this game for quite a long time, and at this point I actually can't believe that it's really coming, that it's really going to be here soon, to the point that I haven't even finished some of the playthroughs that I've started lately, thinking that I just have plenty of time to settle all of my affairs before Metaphor Refantazio, which is turning out not to be the case. So today I just kind of want to share a little bit of that hype and talk to you about why I'm excited for Metaphor Refantazio. If you happen to be new here on the channel, make sure to press that sub button, and if you also are excited for Metaphor and would like to share in the hype, make sure to press that like button as well. I guess one of the main reasons why I'm excited for Metaphor is because I'm a huge fan of Persona. And seeing that the dev team is coming from Persona 3, 4, 5, and even Shin Megami Tensei is just having me really excited, because even though it is a different game, essentially, I think that people who make one game will definitely bring a part of themselves into another game. And I've just been so happy to play Persona games, and I want to see these fragments of people's creativity and imagination brought into another game that is really looking to be a masterpiece. Now, obviously, I do like Persona, but Metaphor to me is really exciting because it essentially is looking like a Persona game in a little bit of an adult setting. I'm not quite sure how old the main character of Metaphor is. They're all looking like young adults in my opinion. And even though the game is not set to have any sort of romance options, I still think that the game has a little bit more of a dark and gritty atmosphere, especially with how the story starts. And I'm not going to talk about any story spoilers in this video. If you haven't seen the Atlus world tours or anything that is related to Metaphor, that's completely fine. You're still safe to watch this video. I'm just excited to see what they can do with implementing all of these systems that we already know from Persona, like the social links and everything else, but in a setting where you are not necessarily trapped in 1 year of high school. Even though I do love it, I just really want to see what else they can do, because if Metaphor goes well, I think that that would be a very big thing, as it can essentially start a new era for Atlus where they are making these kinds of games but in different settings and attracting different people, different audiences, younger audiences as well, which I think what they're trying to do with Persona, although I kind of have this little bit of a controversial opinion when it comes to JRPGs and young people in general, as I'm observing the generations who have grown up on TikTok, I kind of doubt that there's going to be a lot of people who would technically be targeted by a high school setting who are going to sit through a 150 or a 200-hour game or something like that. I could be heavily prejudiced, and I'm sure that there are people who will find it really relatable, who are nerds just like us at the end of the day, but I also find that a lot of younger generations play a lot of different games that are there to grab their attention for a shorter amount of time. So from what I'm seeing is that Persona is still beloved by people who are around my age, so that would be 25 to 35 or even 40 or older year olds, and there's nothing really wrong with that. I'm just saying that if they are trying to make the game that is more suitable for actual adults, and they're trying to implement these systems that are quite beloved by their adult audience as well, I think that Metaphor has a huge potential there. This might be a very tiny reason for some to be super excited excited about a game, but when it comes to RPGs in general, I am a huge fan of having a really interactive travel system from point A to point B. I am not a big fan of teleports, and even though I do love my Final Fantasy XIV, I do find that ether rights and instantly teleporting to places kind of breaks that immersion, and I feel that Metaphor with the travel system really breaks us out of that. I am very excited to see how the Gauntlet Runner is going to affect this dynamic where you're actually feeling like you're sitting on your little vehicle doing things along the way to pass the time while you're traveling. For some people, this might be a little bit of a disruptive mechanic that, in their opinion, would be aimed to steal your time from the actual gameplay, but that is the gameplay. You are sitting in a vehicle and you're actually bonding with your party members because you're all together in this space where you're spending time together, doing different activities, and I think it really adds to the immersion in my opinion, and it makes me feel more cozy about the game, and I'm just very excited to experience that. Another obvious reason for being excited, and I think that this is clear and obvious to anyone who's watched any of the Metaphor videos or showcases whatsoever, is the artwork. I'm hugely appreciative of seeing new things, but not just new things that also look pretty. So Metaphor, I think when it comes to artwork, is quite unprecedented when it comes to JRPGs of this type, and I am just dying to get myself into the game, because the game really is something that I feel like I could look at for a very long time, and this is something that, I'm not gonna lie, is very necessary for me. If I'm playing a game that is about 100 hours long, I need to be able to look at the game and say, wow, that's pretty. And for me, that is something that Metaphor definitely is. And like I said, I'm not going to share any story spoilers whatsoever, but story is definitely a big thing and a big reason why I'm hyped for Metaphor. I don't want to say anything about the premise of the story apart from the fact that it is more of an adult setting, so definitely not Persona, definitely not high school. And if you're a fan of political intrigues and a setting where you are going all over the world discovering new races, new things about new people who eventually become your party members with all their weirdness, I think you're really going to enjoy this game as well. And last but not least, for me as a content creator, a huge aspect of my feelings towards Metaphor is the community. And I have to say, I don't know if I would have found out about Metaphor and its development so early into its development if it wasn't for my community. So as we've been essentially obsessing over Persona and Shin Megami Tensei for years now, it was to be expected that there will be a corner of my Discord where people will start sharing news about this cool new JRPG that's still in development, that really looks like Persona, that has a lot of elements from both Persona and Shin Megami Tensei. And naturally I got really curious, and over time, when I realized what Metaphor is and could be, and its potential to change the genre of JRPGs as we know it, I got really interested in it, and since then I've been pretty much obsessively following all of its news and development and everything, which you can find here on the channel as well. I think that I've reacted to pretty much every bit of development news in the past year or so there's plenty of Metaphor videos here on the channel already if you're interested in them. But what I can say is that I'm super excited to share this game with my community as well. I will definitely be playing it and streaming it on launch on both Twitch and here on YouTube. So if you're interested in it, if you'd like to be a part of the community and kind of see what we're all about and check out Metaphor along the way, you can definitely expect me to start streaming it on October 11th. But anyway, I would like to hear from you in the comments. What are you excited about when it comes to Metaphor? Are you excited at all? Are you a little bit skeptical? Do you think that it's just going to be one of those games that everyone's excited about, but after 2 weeks they kind of are forgotten? Or do you think it's going to be as game-changing, no pun intended, as I claim for it to be? Let me know in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to not miss out on any Metaphor news and live streams and playthroughs and reactions whatsoever. If you enjoyed the video, leave it a like, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.